Welcome to the podcast about investing in startups, where existing investors can learn how to get the best deal possible. And those that have never before invested in startups can learn the keys to success from the venture experts. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to The Full Ratchet. On today's Investor Stories segment, the experts weigh in on the characteristics, personality traits, and behaviors that they see in the most remarkable and successful entrepreneurs. Here's the special segment called Exceptional Founders. On today's special segment, we have Mark Peter Davis of Interplay Ventures. Mark, have you had the pleasure of investing in an exceptional founder? And if so, can you talk about what made that entrepreneur so great and highlight the aspects that make founders exceptional?
Yeah, I think that it really varies by founder. I think there's different versions of that. So I think pretty much all the founders we've invested in, I would argue, are exceptional in one dimension or another. There's some folks, you've got Pete Sullivan over at Jackpocket, who is unfathomably tenacious. The guy will run through walls, face challenges, and just to be the most resilient guy in the room. And his persistence, it drives companies forward. I've known him before this venture. He's just one of the more tenacious guys I've ever seen in the market. There are people who are very tactical operators. We just made an investment in a company called Parcel. They're looking at their metrics. They're thoughtful about, you got to do A, B, and C. It's a very solid, methodical approach to build the business. All of those dimensions can work. Ideally, you want to have everything, but no one's Superman and can do everything. But I think those types of breeds of folks tend to do very well. Those are characteristics that make founders exceptional.
On today's special segment, we have Jonathan Trieste and Brett Desmarais of Ludlow Ventures. Guys, have you ever had the pleasure of investing in an exceptional founder? And if so, can you highlight the aspects that made that founder or founders in general exceptional?
Yeah, we've had the pleasure of investing in 70 some incredible founders. It's like, again, this is asking a parent, like, which kid of yours is the best looking? And, that's
everybody says that.
Yeah, because they're right. I think one of the founders that we invested early on who continuously impresses me like crazy is Meredith Perry from Ubeam. She's an individual who, no matter whom she is talking to, like when she's done communicating with them, they're totally bought in. Whether it's wanting to work for her, promote her company, or invest in her company, or buy something from her company, she just has this infectious way of getting people excited about what she's building. And she's absolutely brilliant. I mean, she was looking for life on other planets prior to starting a wireless electricity company. And she continues to blow us away. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's great. There's a bunch of others. Jessie from Lumi, she is like the best personality on the planet. She's great.
Good one.
That was a good one. I can't describe her. You have to talk to her. She literally is rays of sunshine, and you just feel better after talking to her. And that's a good quality for a leader. She's, no matter what the circumstances, she's never doom and gloom. It's all like, we can do it, opportunity here, everything's going to be great. I would call her just for therapy sessions if she would listen to me.
There's deeply technical founders who were just totally impressed with how bright they are. Other founders who are much more focused on growth and sales, like Gagan from Sprig.
Yeah.
He's an animal. He's
a big vision, strategist. He's brilliant in that way.
We've had, this is not, I'm not just saying this to sound friendly, but we really have had the exceptional privilege of working with some of the brightest people that I've ever known. And that's one of the things that I think keeps driving us to do what we do. It's an awesome, awesome job.
On today's special segment, we have David Verrill of the Hub Angels Investment Group. David, can you tell us a story about a specific thing that a founder did that wowed you and made you realize that the entrepreneur was exceptional?
Yeah, I would say the best CEO of any of our portfolio companies is a guy named Jay Teach. He was a CEO of a life sciences company that we invest in our first fund. Jay had been a multiple-time CEO and was starting a really interesting company that was based on intellectual property purchased from one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. And we couldn't get it to work. He couldn't get it to work. There was something wrong with the science. And, most CEOs would have closed the doors. He had raised, a fair amount of money, $2 million of funding. But instead, he went out to the marketplace, people that he would have been selling this particular product to, and he basically asked 150 of them, what's your biggest problem? And he developed a new idea of a product, and we took in fresh capital, brought in some larger VCs, and after 12 years, last year, that company had a $355 million exit. And so,
wow.
When you find somebody who doesn't panic, who really listens to the marketplace and then can rally people around him or her and raise the appropriate amount of capital, sometimes in difficult times, then it's really a unique individual. And there are some other aspects of Jay that really give one confidence. He's one of these people who has a million things going on, but you never see a sweat ball at the end of his nose. You never see him raise his voice. You never see him get angry. He runs. He and his wife run a $15 million a year horse farm locally, or some crazy size. He built a house on the property, and this is all of this while he was the CEO of this company. So you find some people that just have the innate ability to do. They can seemingly do almost anything and are never flustered. And if we had 5 or 10 of those people that are running companies in our portfolio, we'd be doing colossally well.
When you first made the investment, were there certain things that jumped out at you that were indicative of his behavior and his ability later, or was it kind of a lot of luck?
We kind of lucked out a little bit. We were very friendly with a venture capital firm that had just gotten started. We knew the partners, and we were sort of looking to do a deal together, if you will. And they had invested in him previously, and they invited us along into the deal, as it were. And so we sort of lucked out on that one.
That will wrap up this installment of Investor Stories. Head over to thefullratchet.net to leave a comment, sign up for the newsletter, or find resources discussed on any of the episodes. Until next time, remember to over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for listening.